Hey, happy November 1st, everybody. It's November Day. It's not Nevada Day. It's November Day. And new month, same shit. Although, hey, it's really not that bad. I'm being a little over dramatic here. Second day of a back-to-back. And the Avs get 3 points on this little Friday, Saturday swing. 2 points in Vegas yesterday. Raj took you through that between the pipes. I'll take you through today's. We're just switching days here. That's what Raj and I are doing. We're tag teaming this SOB. That's what we're doing. Avs are back home on Tuesday. They'll play the Lightning, who have played better of late. Probably to be expected. They got off to a slow start. But the win in Vegas yesterday, I mean, that's the one. Vegas is one of my 4 best teams in the NHL. I don't know how you could disagree with that. And then here's the thing about San Jose. I think San Jose is kind of sneaky. I don't think they make the playoffs this year. Maybe in the next couple, 2-3 years, they might. Macklin Celebrini is a stud. He is so good. He's 19 years old. First overall pick a couple years ago. He's a real deal. Now, who knows? Jack Hughes was more heralded as a first overall pick. He was like that dude. And I watched him early in his career, and I was like, dude, he's going to win a Hart. I don't know. I don't know if Jack Hughes is ever going to win a Hart where things stand right now. But watching Celebrini early in his career, he's a candidate. I'll qualify it. I'll say he might win a Hart. He is really good. That game time goal that he had late in the first period, that was a bullet wrist shot from deep. Beat Mackenzie Blackwood, who made his season debut today. And I thought he was good overall. Not great, but good. 20 saves on 23 shots against. One of those, the overtime winner. 2 goals from Philip Kurashev. Oh, he's a good-looking player. 2 goals for him in this game. 26 years old. Former Blackhawk. Now with the Sharks. Scored 18 goals 2 years ago. Then appears to have been a little hurt last year. Only scored 7 goals in 51 games. He made a couple good snipes from him today. And it's funny, man, which Avs game was it recently in overtime where the puck, and I think I did this show, where the puck went off of Makar's blade. I wonder if that's what happened there too. Makar was the D-man who was closing in on Kurashev, and it looked like, from my vantage point, from my eyes, saw that go off of Makar's blade, and that kind of causes it to go high on Blackwood, and that's your game-winning goal. I don't know what's going on with the Avs in overtime. They're 0-3 in overtime. They're 0-2 in the shootout. I'm seeing a lot of complaints about having Necas and McKinnon out there. And hold on a second. Go away. Maximus Artillery, get out of here. Get out of here. No. Not on November 1st. Okay? Taking that down, but I put that up there because that pissed me off. No. Jared Bednar is a very good hockey coach. Any of the criticisms that I've had about the power play this year, and obviously 3-on-3 overtime, they're not built for the shootout. They don't have players with the mitts. Now, 3-on-3 overtime is different. They should be built for that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I wish I had the answers for you guys. McKinnon and Necas together, look, they're redundant players. They're both right-handed shots. They're similar players. It should be better, though. I can't really use that as the reason why. Like, as I say it out loud, no. I had someone say to me a few games ago, McKinnon just doesn't care. Like, once it gets beyond 5-on-5 and it's 3-on-3, Nate just doesn't care. Maybe, but you should care. He cares. I'll tell you, he cares. I mean, these are, they're 0-5, so it's 5 points, but that's also at least one. I mean, it should be at least 2 points that they've left on the board. But we'll look at the standings here. And look, now the Avs have played more games than anybody in the West except for Nashville, who just got done beating Calgary, who suck. And Calgary has also played 13 games. So your 3 teams in the West who have played 13 games are Colorado, Nashville, and Calgary. Colorado has 19 points. Winnipeg is right behind them with 18 points. They played today. They have won 3 straight. Winnipeg is a great regular season team. It's a weird record that Colorado has, 9-1-5. Let's see, the Kings have 4 overtime losses, and nobody else has 4 or 5. So the Avs are somehow easily, I mean, I know the Kings have 4 OT losses, but 5 is crazy, especially for this team. But, second day of a back-to-back, and the San Jose team is pretty plucky. They are pretty plucky. The win yesterday in Vegas was nice. Vegas is a legit team in their prime. San Jose is not, but San Jose is good. They're going to be there. Macklin Celebrini is great. They're getting this production from Kurashev today, and he's, that's got a good wrist shot. This Will Smith player is pretty good. He's had a good season. Add another Will Smith to the list. I thought we were done. Obviously, you got OG Will Smith, who, gets jiggy with it. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, blockbuster after blockbuster, slap Chris Rock because his weird wife got in his head. She's weird, okay? Jada Pinkett Smith is weird. And therefore, by proxy, Will Smith became weird. You got Will Smith of the Dodgers, Game 7 of the World Series tonight. He's their catcher. He had a big double in Game 6 last night. He's a good catcher. He's one of the better catchers in the league. You got the former Major League Baseball relief pitcher, Will Smith. I remember when Will Smith pitched against Will Smith. I think Will Smith was on the Braves pitching against Will Smith of the Dodgers. Now you got this 20-year-old Will Smith of the Sharks. He looks good out there. 4 goals on the season, 20 years old. Was big in a win against the Rangers earlier this season. He didn't have a point tonight. You got a Tyler Toffoli on that team. Good veteran player up there on that top line. He had an assist. Yaroslav Askarov is a good goaltender. He had a good game, as did Mackenzie Blackwood, but Askarov was better. Just look at the numbers. Now, the Avs put more on him today. He had to save 36 shots as opposed to the 20 that Mackenzie had to save. He did let in 2, so 38 shots against Askarov. Yaroslav Askarov was that Predators young goaltender who everyone was so high on. He's only 23 years old. But they have UC Saros, and they traded Scott Wedgwood for Justus Annunen. And Askarov is now on the Sharks. Let's see. He was traded to San Jose for prospects Magnus Krona and David Edstrom, along with a conditional first-round pick in this past draft. Okay. That first-round pick is the key. I don't know who Magnus Krona and David Edstrom are. Maybe Raj does. I have no fucking idea. But Askarov has been a good prospect in this league. He had a good game. Now, there was a wonky moment. Avs had a power play. San Jose had a power play. San Jose had a power play in the third period where Blackwood made a really good push save on a shot in the slot. This was the Landeskog high stick on Jeff Skinner, which was just kind of an unfortunate play. Landeskog just kind of went down, stick goes up, catches Jeff Skinner in the face. Jeff Skinner had a weird game. We know Jeff Skinner. He's been around the block, former Sabre, Hurricane. He might have won Rookie of the Year, the Calder. I can't remember, but he might have. Former Oiler. He's been around the block now. He's 33 years old. I remember, I think it was last year, he was on the Oilers, and he was like the oldest, is like most games played without making the playoffs or something like that. He had a weird game. But on this power play for the Sharks after the Landeskog high stick, Blackwood makes a good push save. Avs actually get a breakout shorthanded the other way. I think it's Parker Kelly. Fucking Askarov slips on a banana peel on the ice. And somehow is able to sprawl in desperation and make the save on Kelly's little attempt there. That was a weird sequence. But overall, he was good. He's a right-handed glove, so he's a lefty, which is a little rare. Reminds me of Pavel Francouz, but yeah, good young goaltender. Look, San Jose has a little something cooking there. And it starts with Celebrini. He is, let's see, 6 shots on goal for him today. He had the goal. 6 shots on goal led all skaters. So yeah, the Avs outshoot San Jose 38-23. But Celebrini had 6 shots on goal. He's a beast. He's a factor. He is a great player. You know, I tweeted out, this happened a couple weeks ago at a home Sharks game. They let fans like send in messages for the Jumbotron. And one of the fans, and this was like Latino Heritage Night. And the message got through something like in support of ICE. Okay. And I tweeted, I said, hey, now you got to deport Macklin Celebrini to Canada to atone for that. Them's the rules. I don't make the rules. Celebrini's great. I want him out of here. Get him back to Canada. No, he's really good. He's a really good player. That's what happens when you're really bad. When you've been really bad, is you get first overall picks and you get a Macklin Celebrini. And that was a heck of a shot. That was the shot of the game. That was really the difference in this game, I think. So, yeah, look, San Jose, they started the season like 0-4 and something. They're 4-6-2. They're playing better. They caught Colorado on the second leg of a back-to-back, and they got 2 points. All right. That's how it goes. Let's talk. I mentioned Jeff Skinner. Let's talk about the Nathan MacKinnon goal. So they did credit it to Nathan MacKinnon. I thought maybe this goal would go to Arturi Lehkonen, but when you do watch the replay, it's tough to tell who put that in. You actually might be able to tell that it was MacKinnon's blade that caught it last, although it was Lehkonen there in the crease that was really pushing it in. This came after Lehkonen wide, fed MacKinnon in the middle. And I talked about the lack of mitts that the Avs have in the shootout. Well, here MacKinnon does go with a nice little stick puck handle. Little chop, little back and forth to his backhand. Real nice move in tight quarters. I'll say this about MacKinnon's move. While he does leak the puck through Askarov, he did not outright beat him. Again, this goes to show, like, had this game gone to a shootout, I wouldn't have counted your chickens. Yeah, they have Nathan MacKinnon and Marty Necas and other skilled players 5-on-5, but they don't have dudes who can. I mean, Parker Kelly's breakaway the other night, I said, maybe you should put Parker Kelly in the shootout. That was a good move. That's as good a move as I've seen close to net as any Avs players had recently. I was in that Devils game. But it was a good move for MacKinnon. It did leak a puck through Askarov. Now, here's the thing. Jeff Skinner, weak side, he can tell that his goaltender is beat. And he runs over the post. And I was just watching before I came on this show, the post-game show on Altitude TV, and John Michael Lyles was talking about how he said he thought it was on purpose from Skinner. I mean, probably. I think he did know his goaltender was beaten. He was like, oh shit, let me fucking knock this post off its moorings to try to blow this play dead. It did kind of appear that way. He was also a little out of control. He was kind of slipping there. But credit to, this is why the Avs get the point in this game. This is the last goal scored in regulation. This made it 2-2. Colorado tied this thing up. Credit to the refs. Credit to Toronto in the replay center for letting this goal stand. Because that puck was live and no Avs player forced Jeff Skinner into that post to knock it off its moorings. And the Avs are simply finishing that play. Lehkonen sees the loose puck, tries to put it in. MacKinnon follows his play. He's the one who ultimately does put it in. Lehkonen would have had MacKinnon not have been there. Either way, I was worried, though, that even though I knew that that goal should have stood, I've seen a thing or two, and would not have shocked me if the league said, oh, net was off its moorings, play's dead. Even though an Avs player had nothing to do with that. So that was finally a call on the ice and an upheld review with some shenanigans involved that I can actually tip my cap to and say, hey, nicely done, everybody. That was the correct call. And that's why the Avs get a point in this game. Marty Necas scored early in this game. He scored 30 seconds in. His 9th goal of the season. Just kind of turns around, flings a puck. Goes off of a Sharks skate. Good job by Lehkonen to screen Askarov. That helps on the play as he cuts net front. Necas stays red hot. He signs an 8-year deal, $11.5 million AAV. Let's talk about that. I'm sure Raj talked about it yesterday. I don't know what he said. I did not go back and listen. I was producing Kreckman and Lindahl, then I was doing the Blitz. Unfortunately, was not able to catch as much. I mean, I had it on. It was on in the studio, but I'm working. I'm focused. Laser focused on my job. So I wasn't able to catch as much of that game yesterday as I would have liked to. But the Necas deal came down early in the day, and here he scores the opening goal 30 seconds in. And yes, it's $500,000 per year less than Mikko Rantanen. But you know what? The market increased. And let's also keep in mind that Mikko Rantanen initially wanted $14 million per year. And what's kind of funny about that is when you look at Kaprizov getting 17 and then Kyle Connor got the same contract as Mikko Rantanen. Raj and I talked about this. We both agree. Mikko is a better player than Kyle Connor, though we both very much so like Kyle Connor. It was kind of the wrong place and the wrong time for Mikko Rantanen. Mikko signed just before this little market inflation. And Marty Necas signs during the market inflation. So Necas is just over 2 years younger than Mikko Rantanen. That's important. Marty Necas is 26 years old. Mikko just turned a couple days ago 29 years old. Necas will turn 27 in mid-January. So in about 2.5 months. That's important. Age is important. Mikko's a year away from turning 30. And you look at Necas' production this season, it's been great. Now he has the benefit of playing with Nathan MacKinnon, as did Mikko Rantanen as well. But Necas is going to be playing with MacKinnon for 8 more years. Helps to play with Nathan MacKinnon. And another key to all of this, and look, it is odd. And I know that I just gave context to everything, but if you take the context away, it is odd that Necas is only $500K less per year than Mikko. Again, I provided the context. There's a reason for that. But if you take it away, it is kind of like, well, shit. Mikko, if you just would have accepted what it was, you'd still be an Av. But Avs wouldn't have Jack Drury. That's another key to that trade. Jack Drury has been a great 3C. Now, I don't know what's going to happen like when Logan O'Connor gets back. And it looks like Logan O'Connor and Sam Girard. Now, Girard is less surprising. But O'Connor's going to be back this weekend? I was thinking like late November is kind of what I was seeing and hearing. And now all of a sudden, O'Connor's going to be back this weekend? Interesting. I would say that the way that Jack Drury has played, and today he goes 9 of 14 at the dot. Another great faceoff game for Jack Drury. And you noticed him out there in overtime. Why? Because he can win faceoffs. That's why. And if they're faceoffs are important overall, but they're especially important in 3-on-3 overtime. That's why Jack Drury was out there. And that's a part of the thing. That's a part of the Rantanen situation. It wasn't just Rantanen for Necas. It was Rantanen for Necas and Jack Drury. And I think he's your 3C. He was kind of not playing a little bit with the Hurricanes. I was wondering if he could go beyond 4C with the Avs. He's been an excellent 3C this season. He's an RFA at the end of this season. He's making just under $2 million. I think when they negotiate with Jack Drury in the offseason, it won't be anything crazy. You see this with the RFAs, especially someone of Drury's level. Look, he wins a lot of faceoffs. He does a lot of good things, but he's not a, goal scorer per se. Therefore, his number won't be too high. Maybe he gets to like $2.5 million. So you're telling me that Rantanen is 12 and Necas is 11.5, and let's pencil in Drury for 2.5. Let's see, that gets you to the 14 mil that Mikko originally wanted. So 14 mil for 2 players, Necas and Drury, versus 12 for Mikko. I live with that. I mean, Jack Drury's proving he's probably going to be a very important player in this bottom 6. And we know the bottom 6 is important. No, it's funny. I do want to, I saw Miles Wood scored an overtime game-winning goal for the Jackets the other night. And man, at the time when Miles Wood signed for this, it was $2 million for 6 to 8 years. I'm like, oh, Miles Wood, that's a great deal. Good bottom 6 player with the Devils. Early returns with the Avs were good. Then he got hurt. And then Miles Wood fell out of favor. And then he's gone. So my point there is, who knows what will happen with Jack Drury? Because I was optimistic about Miles Wood. But shout out to Miles. He scored that, he's healthy now and he's contributing at least a little bit for the Blue Jackets. But I short of injury, like what befell Miles Wood, I think Jack Drury is that type of player. And you need to fill out all 4 lines. And had you paid Mikko $12 million, which would have kicked in this year, as others have pointed out, which are very astute points, maybe you can extend Brock Nelson at 8.5 or whatever it is. I think it's 8.5. Maybe you can't sign Olofsson, even fucking Olofsson, for $1 million because of that. Because right now, Necas is 6.5 this year. And then after this year, it'll bump up to 11.5, which is a lot. And hey, the other thing there is, what is Cale Makar going to get? I saw a tweet recently. I think it was Elliot Friedman on his 32 Thoughts podcast said that if the Avs can get Makar at anything slightly under Kaprizov's $17 million, they should say yes immediately. And it's funny, Raj and I have talked about that. Oh boy, I mean, that it is going to be a nightmare. It is going to be, Necas at 11.5 is deserving. He's played great. The market went up. You got Drury in the deal. I get it. You had to do it. The options elsewhere, I'm a Sidney Crosby guy, but Necas has played great. So, and he's 26, going on 27. If you can get that deal done, you get that deal done. I get it. But when they pay Makar, what is this going to look like? They are going to be up against it and then some. I don't know. Maybe Makar goes a little McDavid-y. Although that McDavid short-term extension that was very team-friendly, it was short-term. It was only 2 years. It's going to really put them up against it. And it's another, it makes this season even more important. Not that they'll still be in a win now window and they'll make it work. I hate the Minnesota Wild for paying Kaprizov that. And they're not even seeing returns. And I kind of forecasted this in our season preview show. Minnesota's 3-6-3. I don't know. Maybe Cale looks at that. Maybe everyone looks at that and says, and I don't think the Kaprizov deal has kicked in yet, but even just having that hanging over your head as a franchise, that's brutal. It's why McDavid did what he did, because he wants to win. And he knows McDavid had every right to get fucking $20 million. But that would just hamstring the shit out of the Oilers. So we'll see. I mean, it had to be done with Necas based on his play, based on the need for the Avs to have another elite skater in that top 6. And it seems as though he's a first-line fixture. So first line. That's the way Necas has played. He's cemented himself, essentially. Things can change, but as of now, he is firmly on the top line. Because he's played that, and he's 26. The ceiling is the roof with Marty Necas. It's happening. Now that he's playing with Nathan MacKinnon, he is turning into the absolute best version of himself, which is a very good player. And the Makar conversation is a conversation for next year, and when he'll be in the final year of his contract, and it'll be tough. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of different ways that can go, but Cale at the end of the day does have every right to, if he wanted to, exceed Kaprizov's number. Cale today did have an assist. And he's had a point in every road game this season. He assisted on the Necas opening goal. Taylor Makar made his NHL debut today. Didn't notice much from Taylor in his 6 minutes and 7 seconds outside from a play net front where he nearly did stuff a puck in. I'll say this about Taylor McCarr. So, if any of you remember, I know we all have short-term memories nowadays, and in one ear, out the other. Tomorrow comes around, fuck yesterday. Nobody gives a shit anymore, right? But when Gabe Landeskog played those 2 games with the Eagles, and I'll be honest, I don't watch Colorado Eagles games, okay? I don't care. Maybe I'm missing something. From the sample size and the evidence spread that I have seen, I'm probably not missing much. But when I watched those 2 Eagles games, I said on this show, I said on Between the Pipes, and of course I'm hyping up Landeskog, who I thought, side note, I thought was okay today. He's very clearly still in that same rhythm that he has been in the past few games. 12 and a half minutes tonight. No points, 1 shot on goal. Noticeable in a few moments, but nothing really impactful. It continues. But now, and again, I didn't watch much of the Knights game yesterday. Maybe it was different. And this was the second day of a back-to-back. But I'm watching those Landeskog Eagles games, and there was one Eagles player that I looked at. Actually, there were 2. One was Nikita Prichapov, who we saw early last season with the Avs. Let me make sure he's still with the Eagles. He had a few puck-moving plays, and also understanding their age and where they're at in their career. That's another thing. Because I thought that like a TJ Tynan played well in those couple of Eagles games I've watched, but we've seen TJ Tynan with the Avs. He's like in his mid-20s. He is who he is. He's maybe could be like a 4th line guy for you. He's not going to be much more beyond that. And yes, Prichapov appears to still be with the Eagles. So I don't know what he's doing with the Eagles this year, but I'll just say in those 2 Landeskog Eagles games I watched last year, and having seen him early in the season last year when the Avs were desperate and had to call up a Nikita Prichapov, which is like very desperate because he was a 20-year-old kid who was he was the 217th pick overall. He's like a mid-late round, 7th round pick. That's how desperate the Avs were. But I will say, he popped to me when I was watching those 2 Eagles games. The other one was Taylor McCarr. He was noticeable when I watched those 2 Eagles games. And I came on this show and I told Raj, I said, dude, Taylor McCarr is going to play with the Avs. He will get the call up as soon as next season. And Raj was like, we'll see. Ha! He made his NHL debut today. Just had one noticeable moment net front, like I said, where he almost stuffed the puck in. But he's got good size. Taylor McCarr has good size, and he's smooth with his skating. I don't know how long his stint here will last. It probably won't be long with like a Logan O'Connor coming back this weekend. And McCarr's a little older than a Prichapov. He's 24 years old. He played at UMass like his older brother. So he was an experienced college guy. But there is something to his game. Taylor McCarr could be a 4th line player for this team, maybe as high as a 3rd line. I don't know if he'll ever get beyond that. But Taylor McCarr can play in the NHL. I even just a couple Eagles games last year, I saw it. He can do it. And he had a chance tonight. He had a scoring chance. For a guy making his NHL debut with not a lot of pro experience, a lot of college experience, but not a lot of pro experience, it's not nothing. That's not nothing. He can be in the rotation. Should anyone in the bottom 6 get hurt, Taylor McCarr is an option to get called up from the Eagles at any time. Speaking of college guys, I thought Sam Malinsky had a good game tonight. 5 shots on goal. That led all Avs players, which is actually kind of, you don't want that. Like, Kale actually did not have a shot on goal in this game, and Kale was actually a -2. Now that I'm looking at this box score, he's on the ice for the overtime goal. Like I said, I think that went off of his blade, which is the second overtime winner that has gone off of his blade in like a week. Kind of bad luck there because Kale's a good defensive player. Just a day late and $1 short has been Kale on those game-winning plays in overtime. But Malinsky with 5 shots on goal. And look, he created a couple net front looks, a couple tip looks. I don't even know if those were shots on goal. I think those were just passes down low to go on front and on top of his 5 shots on goal. So Sam Malinsky continues. So you talk about the college players. It took, Sam, you could kind of tell early that Malinsky had some game, and this season it continues and it's grown. And that's a great sign. Like, these are the things that you do want to see here as we enter November, the early stages of the season. October's done, and Sam Malinsky is developing before our very eyes. Those are the things you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. The exact player with the Malinsky, Jack Drury. Those are 2 guys. I would say those are the 2 younger guys who are growing. Like, if you couldn't have, those are the 2 you wanted. And they're doing it. That's huge. And I see no reason why for both those players, Malinsky and Drury, it can't continue. It's been that good and that consistent through almost a month now. And it's only likely to get even just a tick better as we get deeper into the season and into the playoffs. So yeah, 7-1-5, but 1 defenseman, 1 center, younger players that you were really counting on to step up, and they have. So that's a huge positive. But they lose today. In overtime. They do get a point. And next up is the Tampa Bay Lightning on Tuesday, I think it is. So that's good. That's good too. They get a couple days off. They get Monday, Tuesday off. The schedule has actually been pretty kind, at least in my opinion. Only a couple of back-to-backs so far this year. The one last weekend and the one this weekend. If you want to count Friday as a weekend day, it was Nevada Day. It's a fucking weekend in Nevada. Okay. So they get 1 point in last weekend's road swing. They get 3 points in this weekend's road swing, and they got a regulation win against the best of the 4 teams, and that's Vegas. So Tuesday against Tampa, that'll be on TNT. That is a nationally televised game at 7:30. With the 2 days off, and it being Tampa, and let me look at the standings here. Because, Tampa was the worst team in the East, but now they've whipped off 4 in a row. Not surprising. Like, they were good. There's too much talent. They're getting older, but there's still too much talent. So Tampa's won 4 in a row. They're now in the middle of the Atlantic Division. They're 5-4-2. Blackwood makes his season debut against his former team today. I thought that Blackwood was good, but it looked like a guy coming off injury making a season debut. I've seen better from Blackwood. I thought that, Wedgwood's best start this year was better than Blackwood's start today, but that should be expected. Like, Blackwood's the better goaltender, but it's his first start of the year coming off injury. There's some cobwebs you got to shake off. It's Halloween. There's some webs. All right. You got to shake it off. He was good for his first start. Given that there's 2 days off, and Tampa's on a 4-game heater, I assume they're going to play between now and then. Do they play tonight? I have no idea. Blackwood should start on Tuesday. You throw Mackenzie Blackwood back out there on Tuesday. You don't go back to Wedgwood. Even though Wedgwood got the start in Vegas and they won, you got 2 days off. Blackwood's your guy. He's your one. He's your number one goaltender who you paid, and he's in the prime of his career. I'm starting Blackwood on Tuesday night. No question about it. And then Saturday, Sunday, another one of these weekend back-to-backs. This is going to be 3 straight weekends, essentially, of road back-to-backs. At Edmonton, at Vancouver. But it appears that Sam Girard and Logan O'Connor are going to play. And if the Avs stay healthy, really it's just one game. You stay healthy through the Tampa game. Can we knock on wood here? I got a wood table. There's a wood table. I'm going to knock on wood. I'm going to knock on Wedgwood and Blackwood. Hell, even Mileswood. The Avs can stay healthy through the Tampa game. And holy shit, they're going to be 100% healthy outside of Yoel Kiviranta. Which, and I love Kiviranta, but fourth line guy, you're fine. So for all intents and purposes, you will be 100% healthy in Edmonton on Saturday. That'll be fun. Again, knock on wood. It's like too good to be true, right? You just got to get through this Tampa game. Get 2 points. Get Blackwood his first win of the season. Nobody gets hurt. It's easy, right? It's easy. You're at home. You're on national TV. Biz can fawn over McKinnon and Makar and Necas. Everyone's going to learn about Marty Necas now. And I love Val. Maybe Landeskog gets his first goal. Who knows? Stay healthy. Get those 2 points. You're 100% healthy against the 2-time reigning Western Conference champions. You get Girard back. I cannot wait to see Logan O'Connor back. What a great player Logan O'Connor is. He's so fun. Hard worker. I don't even need to say anything more. I don't need to say anything more. I don't need to give any more adjectives or descriptors about Logan O'Connor. You guys know. You know. What are the lines going to look like with O'Connor back? Let's see. Obviously, top line is the same. They've moved Colton up to the second line in lieu of Landeskog. I don't think that changes. Ooh, or does it? What do you do? Because Logan O'Connor can easily play on this third line. But now they've got Drury, Landeskog, Olofsson. Olofsson had the hat trick recently and has played well. Landeskog is Landeskog. Drury's the center. I'm pontificating extemporaneously here, okay? Drury's the center, so you can't, like, Logan O'Connor's not a center, so it would be either, if he's on the third line, it's in place of either Landeskog or Olofsson. But I can't imagine, even though Landeskog has left something to be desired, that you're moving Landeskog down to your fourth line. And it is O'Connor's first game back. So probably fourth line for O'Connor. Probably. With Kelly and... fourth line's been a little outside of Parker Kelly. I accidentally just closed my box score here. Obviously, Taylor Makar was on there tonight. Kiviranta is hurt. Who am I forgetting? Bardakov. Okay, so that means that either Makar or Bardakov is out. It would probably be Makar. As much as I do like Taylor Makar, Zakar Bardakov had that electric goal, his first of his career. Has had a couple other chances as well. So Bardakov stays. Makar goes back to the Eagles. And I'd say to start on Saturday night, it's Kelly O'Connor Bardakov. Yeah. But if Logan O'Connor looks good, Landeskog better pick it up. I can't believe I'm saying this. Could Gabe Landeskog be a fourth line player? Because if Logan O'Connor does his thing, he's just extremely active and a hound on the forecheck. Could Gabe Landeskog be a fourth line player if Logan O'Connor's fully back? That's crazy. Because I can't put Olofsson down right now. He scored a hat trick and is a lot of shots on goal. Interesting. Very interesting. But nonetheless, these are good problems to have. As Logan O'Connor and Sam Girard will be back on Saturday. But let's get to that Lightning game first. Raj and I will have Between the Pipes for you, I believe. I don't think we have any conflicts or other obligations on Tuesday night. So I believe it will be Raj and me, the OGs, back with you on Tuesday night. And that's going to be a fun one. I'm on national TV. I like the TNT games. We don't, the ESPN, even I'm sour on ESPN now. And I'm never that guy. But after the Mammoth game, nope. But we're on TNT. And I can live with that. So that's a fun one. Nation will be watching. Tampa's on a 4-game win streak. I assume they play between now and then, like I said, but nonetheless, they're playing well. So it'll be a fun one. And Raj and I will have it for you after Avs Lightning on Tuesday night. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today. Enjoy your Saturday night. All's good. Avs have 19 points. Got a point today. The Avs are the king of the points. Unless you're the Boston Bruins. By the way, the Bruins beat the Hurricanes today at home. So, hey, Boston's actually okay. There you go. We'll talk to you Tuesday night for Between the Pipes on Altitude Sports Radio's social media channels.